Starlink simulators, Flight 11. SpaceX successfully launched a Starship-Super Heavy Block 2 rocket with the Flight 11 mission from Orbital Launch Mount Pad 1 at the SpaceX Starbase in Texas. This launch flew 8 Starlink V2, bus Starship-1, simulators satellites with a total mass of 16,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit. The flight took place on Monday, October 13, at 23:23 Coordinated Universal Time or at 6:23 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This was the last flight of Block 2 of Starship and the final flight from Orbital Launch Mount Pad 1 in its current configuration. Super Heavy Booster 15 took an eastward trajectory from Orbital Launch Mount Pad 1. After Ship 38 separation, the booster re-entered Earth's atmosphere and splashed safely in the Gulf of Mexico. The Super Heavy Booster 15, supporting this mission, launched for a second time. The booster, with 24 flight-proven engines, tested configurations planned to be used by Block 3 boosters upon landing before being expended. This was the 11th Starship flight test and last launch of Starship Block 2 version of Starship. Super Heavy ignited 13 engines at the start of the landing burn and then transitioned to a new configuration with 5 engines running for the divert phase. Previously done with 3 engines, the planned baseline for V3 Super Heavy will use 5 engines during the section of the burn responsible for fine-tuning the booster's path, adding additional redundancy for spontaneous engine shutdowns. The booster then transitioned to its 3 center engines for the end of the landing burn, entering a full hover while still above the ocean surface, followed by shutdown and dropping into the Gulf of Mexico. The primary goal on the flight test is to measure the real-world vehicle dynamics as engines shut down while transitioning between the different phases. The Starship upper stage targeted multiple in-space objectives, including the deployment of 8 Starlink simulators, similar in size to next-generation Starlink satellites. The Starlink simulators were on the same suborbital trajectory as Starship and are expected to demise upon entry. A relight of a single Raptor engine while in space is also planned. The flight test includes several experiments and operational changes focused on enabling Starship's upper stage to return to the launch site on future flights. For re-entry, tiles have been removed from Starship to intentionally stress-test vulnerable areas across the vehicle. Several of the missing tiles are in areas where tiles are bonded to the vehicle and do not have a backup ablative layer. To mimic the path a ship will take on future flights returning to Starbase, the final phase of Starship's trajectory on Flight 11 included a dynamic banking maneuver and tested subsonic guidance algorithms prior to a landing burn and splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Starship is a 2-stage, fully reusable, super heavy lift launch vehicle under development by American aerospace company SpaceX. Currently built and launched from Starbase in Texas, it is intended as the successor to the company's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets, and is part of SpaceX's broader reusable launch system development program. If completed as designed, Starship would be the first fully reusable orbital rocket and have the highest payload capacity of any launch vehicle to date. As of August 26, 2025, Starship has launched 10 times, with 5 successful flights and 5 failures. The vehicle consists of 2 stages, the Super Heavy booster and the Starship spacecraft, both powered by Raptor engines burning liquid methane, the main component of natural gas, and liquid oxygen. Both stages are intended to return to the launch site and land vertically at the launch tower for potential reuse. Once in space, the Starship upper stage is intended to function as a standalone spacecraft capable of carrying crew and cargo. Missions beyond low Earth orbit would require multiple in-orbit refueling flights. At the end of its mission, Starship re-enters the atmosphere using heat shield tiles similar to those of the Space Shuttle. SpaceX states that its goal is to reduce launch costs by both reusing and mass-producing both stages. SpaceX has proposed a wide range of missions for Starship, such as deploying large satellites, space station modules and space telescopes. A crewed variant, developed under contract with NASA, is called the Starship Human Landing System, which is scheduled to deliver astronauts to the Moon as part Artemis program, beginning with Artemis 3 currently scheduled for 2027. SpaceX has also expressed ambitions to use Starship for crewed missions to Mars. Starbase SpaceX Starbase, previously, SpaceX South Texas Launch Site and SpaceX Private Launch Site, is an industrial complex and rocket launch facility that serves as the main testing and production location for Starship launch vehicles, as well as the headquarters of the American space technology company SpaceX. Located in Starbase, Texas, United States, and adjacent to South Padre Island, Texas, Starbase has been under near-continuous development since the late 2010s. And comprises a spaceport near the Gulf of Mexico, a production facility, and a test site along Texas State Highway 4. On December 12, 2024, SpaceX filed an official request to Cameron County authorities to have an area that includes the site incorporated as a new city, named Starbase. On February 13, 2025, Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino ordered an election on the incorporation petition to be held on May 3. Voters approved incorporating the new city as Starbase, Texas, on May 3, 2025. Pending completion of legal formalities, Starbase, Texas, will be the first new city in Cameron County since the incorporation of Los Indios in 1995. The launch site is where final testing operations and orbital launching of the Starship spacecraft and Super Heavy boosters occur. The launch site has two launch pads, Orbital Launch Mount Pad 1, OLP-1, and 2, OLP-2, each equipped with an orbital launch mount, OLM, an integration tower, nicknamed Mechazilla by SpaceX, and other support structures. SpaceX. Space Exploration Technologies Corp., commonly referred to as SpaceX, is an American space technology company headquartered at the Starbase development site in Starbase, Texas. Since its founding in 2002, the company has made numerous advances in rocket propulsion, reusable launch vehicles, human spaceflight, and satellite constellation technology. As of 2025, SpaceX is the world's dominant space launch provider, its launch cadence eclipsing all others, including private competitors and national programs like the Chinese space program. SpaceX, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and the United States Armed Forces work closely together by means of governmental contracts.